I was telling you, it was one of these.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly. So, somebody's got the big right.
Okay, the next item is, we have a resignation of part-time justice clerk Patricia Tomasello, and it was effective 1/1/2010. We'll put that on for Thursday night.
Does that mean they have to hire another one? Another part-timer? That will mean another one.
I think that that's going on.
Or attrition state.
No.
They won't show over there. Don't get involved.
Okay, now this next one. Okay. Let me get my proper, okay. You'll see this thing is standard workday and reporting resolution. Now, here's what's happened. The state of New York has created a Title V, or Tier 5, retirement plan, effective January 1st. Tier 4, and under this one, it supposedly over the next 30 years is going to save the state of New York like $48 billion or something. And basically what it is it takes longer to get tenured into this thing, and the employee pays continuously. Where I think up in the 10 years was, or 5 years, or whatever it is for the Tier 4, or Tier 3. Okay, 10 years. So, we got a message from Albany saying, okay, for your elected officials, or anybody else for that matter, okay, or appointed officials, if there's anybody who could qualify under Tier 4, you've got to be registered by January 31st of 2009. 2009.
January of 2009?
I'm sorry, December 31st, pardon me. December 31st, 2009. So, I contacted Ken. Ken just finished his 12th year on the board. He's been elected for 4 more years. Now, he won't get full-time employment, but he gets part-time employment. And he might meet, and I think he will, the criteria of the Tier 4. Whatever, if it's 4 years, 5 years, or whatever, well, I have to go back to it, whatever it is. Which means then Ken can pay in to New York retirement system. And then when he finishes his term, he can then apply for his retirement. Now, it may not be much, but he's getting retirement that he's paid for based on his service to the town of Goshen for, it would be 16 years. In my case, when I complete this term as supervisor, I will complete 6 years, which I would consider full-time. Okay. And then 2 years prior to that on the board as part-time. So again, I would meet this criteria. So Ken and myself signed up, and then we're going to be willing to pay into the system to be part of the New York State retirement system. But this new law also requires, and I'm going to read it to you, standard workday and reporting resolution. Be it resolved that, and this, by the way, this is put together by the state of New York. It's not something we put together. We just fill in the names. Be it resolved that the town of Goshen hereby resolves the following as standard workdays for elected and appointed officials, and will report the following days worked to the state of New York and local employees retirement system based on the records of activities maintained and submitted by these officials to the clerk of this body. So in my case, I'm going to have to say that my standard workday would be 8 hours. I'm not in the timekeeping system. I don't punch the clock. So that means I'm going to have to fill out a thing and say, okay, here's all the hours on average that I put into the system. The town clerk, 8 hours. She does use a time clock. Ken Newbold would be an 8-hour workday. and he wants to determine how many hours by what he works on things, and he will have to turn it in as well.
We can go a little bit. See, that's just inherently inconsistent, because in no disrespect, but Kenny's got a job. Kim's got a job. You're almost permitting,
No. It's how many hours do you work for the town of Goshen? Like tonight's meeting.
during the course of the year.
No, we're gonna be doing, supposedly we've gotta do this by, I think quarterly. And so, what Ken will have to do is say, okay, he spent so many hours in preparation and going to the village negotiating thing. He might go to a planning board meeting to audit what's going on. He's been to these meetings and all these things.
Isn't our considered by the state of for part-time?
It's a part-time.
It is.
Yeah.
So if you work 8 hours a day, it's part-time. No.
No, this is a standard work. This is a standard work day. It's not your work day.
Oh, okay.
You're
not the 40 hours, you're off the board.
You're going to be measured against the 8-hour standard work day, as will I and anybody else.
That's what I'm wondering.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So we've got to tally up our hours and turn them in. Now the next one is Steve Andershak, 8-hour day, timekeeping. He's going to have to turn it in. And the two justices. And by the way, they're part of this. They've been doing it all along. They signed up for the past.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. So anyway. So and then.
It's going to be rapid. That's right. That's 4 years after plenty.
And so then the rest of it is, on this day, blah, 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 I, the town clerk of the governing body, town of Goshen, state of New York, do hereby certify a comparative foregoing of the original resolution passed by the board, and so forth and so on. But this is boilerplate that came right out of their system. So, we probably need to do this on Thursday night. Okay, fill in the blanks and do that. Okay.
Question I have is the standard day 8 hours?
That's the standard work day.
Yes.
Correct. So it's including lunch, right?
No. Yes, that's correct. No, it does. Yes, it does.
No, because I know the county has some great issues over a 7-hour day.
Well, this was established by the standard work day for the town of Goshen was determined by a prior board. Don't know when, but it's in the system already.
Right.
Now, if we want to change that, we can do that. Pardon? 2,000.
I was going to say, I think that was a mile, I think.
Yeah.
8 come out, do all the hours you do,
Right.
stuff like that. That might be 0.6 of an 8-hour day. And you'll submit that, and then you'll get credit
Right.
based on the 0.6. That's whatever.
Correct.
Right.
I just don't know what was the formality and what kind of detail you have.
They've got the forms in this, they sent this whole package down, and Barbara's digesting it, and they got a CD on it and all that.
Okay.
The part the board has to do, we have to do this. All that other part, Barbara's going to give Ken and I instruction on how to do that.
I never got this one.
Too late. Yeah.
Tony died that week and I didn't do anything.
Okay. So anyway, I'll put that on the Thursday that we will we'll fill in the blanks, but that's what that's all about. I really thought that we figured that wasn't worth it, so I didn't. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, now we can keep them longer, guys. We can keep them longer. You're not getting loose here, Louis.
Like you said, figure retirement.
You can hire, you can hire
people.
Virginia for that.
Okay, the next item is to authorize the supervisor to sign a renewal contract for legal services from Donahue, Thomas, Alexander, Grohan, and LLP, effective 1/1/2010. And basically, we got this thing from Stuart S. Waxman. After Ken asked me to go back and say, hey, buckos, we don't want to pay any more next year, so I did. And the answer is, okay, continue what you had last year, this year. So that
We say, okay, bucko?
at about this time of year, we advise clients, blah, blah, however, taking the town's economic climate into consideration, our firm is elected to freeze our rates at the level. So